here at the last home game for the season, and as you can see, the festivities are going all night long. Diplopia, as eye physicians would say, is a warning sign for cataracts. So ask yourself, are you seeing double? Denton firefighters have a new safety plan for schools, and it involves fire hose. It's at recycled books on the square that people told me they had to run to after shots rang out at 2 a.m. this morning. This is like our last home game, so how do you feel about the game tonight?
I am pumped for the game. You know, my Mean Green Pride is going strong right now. Right. You know, we're playing at Florida.
North Texas Cuts has been in business for 8 years now, but this is their brand new location, and they have fire cuts. This drainage fee is for surfaces like this one that leads right back to Lake Lewisville. I'm here at Patrick's Pastures with my good friends the alpacas, who are a little hungry, as you can see. Construction has started here in this new location that's set to be a new restaurant here in Denton, Texas. That's all I got for you though, Drake, because I'm still hungry and I'm about to enjoy this hot dog. So back to you. I'll meet you here. You've heard about it before. Home explosions caused by gas leaks that went undetected. Over 100 homes were evacuated last week in northwest Dallas by Atmos Energy after an explosion killed 12-year-old Linda Michelle Rogers. 45 minutes up I-35 is Denton, Texas, where the route to these gas explosions can be found in the soil.
Those black soils that expand and contract when they get wet and dry seasonally result in more foundation damage in the DFW area. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year on foundation repair.
Okay. Professor Reid FERRING teaches a soils class under geology and says the ground in Denton can tell you whether you live in a safe zone for gas piping.
One way to know where you are basically is to look for great big old oak trees. They only grow on the sandy soils.
Two major soils in Denton are sandy and black. Sandy soil is the best type of soil for piping, while black is not.
Those soils swell up like a sponge, basically, and they exert enough force to not only move foundations, but even to break old gas pipes. So it sounds like Atmos is going to have its hands full to replace those old steel pipes and iron pipes with plastic pipes.
Denton can rest a little easier knowing that it's built on good soil, but proceed with caution when digging. You want to plant in order to grow your community. Savion Manuel was 19 years old.
He just brought the energy.
He never wanted me to be late to class.
His smile was very contagious. I think that might be actually what I miss the most.
Miss him because Savion was shot and killed last Monday in Temple, Texas. 3 young teens were arrested and are under investigation. Allegedly, Savion was meeting up with them to sell his PlayStation. I sat down with his closest friends he had at UNT to ask them, who was Savion? For most of them, sweet memories brought smiles. But for JadeDen GALLOWAY, who dated Savion,
and so
recounting her last conversation was hard.
The last time we talked, the conversation ended with, well, I'll talk to you later. And he said, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And that was the last thing we said.
A candlelight vigil was held for Savion on the same campus grounds he left an impact.
I know you live out there heavy, bro.
For many, sadness and grief. For others, anger at the circumstance. But through the simple thought of what Savion would do comes forgiveness.
We still gotta forgive them. Like I said, if I hate them, then we spreading hate all over the world. We need to spread love.
4 weeks ago, Sav had actually put on Snapchat, like, it was a picture of him and he had quoted something and he said that even though people do him wrong, it's always good to forgive and let go.
Savion left JadeDen a poem he initially wrote to her when they first met.
Okay, so this is You by Savion.
She hasn't read it since the first time, but is now.
Okay. She is my best friend. She is my family. My true heaven on earth.
One thing for certain was the love Savion left behind.
I submit myself to you.
Jade Jackson, NTTV News. It's been said that those who have a voice have a power to make a change. This UNT freshman is using his platform to change lives.
You know, my maiden name for my parents is Isaiah Littlejohn, but you see, as I grew into the individual that I am now, I adopted Isaiah King because I felt like I am a king.
Isaiah is a local radio podcaster who committed himself to 100 community service projects for the 2018 year. The first one involved giving clothes to the homeless in Dallas.
I partnered with my friend Joe Vaughn, who owns the clothing line Explosive Garments. And so our mission, be there with our hearts and our minds.
What Isaiah didn't expect to see were the raw conditions these everyday people had to live in. He learned it was more than just giving them what he thought they needed.
I gained so much just from having conversation, viewing them as a human being. You see, a conversation is priceless.
Tell them there's somebody, and tell them, hey, you got some dreams, you want it, you're hungry, go for it.
In the many conversations they had, they found Will. Homeless with a job interview Tuesday, he felt unprepared with the clothes he had.
We went to Ross, we picked him out some shoes, a nice shirt. That $35 changed that man's life. He didn't think we were going to come back.
So imagine the moment that touched a young man's life in a world that would otherwise pass him over.
Y'all making him cry, y'all. Y'all making that man cry.
Something that I felt was so small meant something so much more to that man.
Oh, that's a
Jade Jackson, NTTV News.